Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again.
Hello everyone and welcome to the table. So what we have today, this is a new one to me, a new brand for me. So let's take a look at this knife together. So as you can see, this is a collaboration. So our knife brand here, this is from WESN, and they collaborated with a company called Ekster to create this collaboration knife. And so we can see right here, this is their Microblade, and this is a red variant of the knife. And that is immediately what drew me to this one. So let's take a look. Because of course presentation is beautiful, right? It's a gorgeous looking little knife, and the social media ad, I saw it, it looked pretty cool. And I'm aware of WESN as a brand. This is my first knife from them, so again, I'm taking a leap here to see what I'm getting, because a lot of their designs just don't stand out to me. But it looks like recently they've done some collaborations, and I think they kind of look really cool, stylistic wise, So let's take a look at the Microblade right here. So again, the WESN Microblade is not an entirely new design, but this one right here, of course, what stands out is just this completely red coloration that we have right here, which is pretty striking, to be honest with you. And so initially when I saw this advertised, I have no idea, and I still really don't know who Ekster is as a brand. It looks like they sell EDC stuff, kind of like slim wallets, stuff like that that you carry with you. So it kind of fits with a knife company, right? And so the red coloration comes entirely from that. It looks almost like a Supreme coloration, right? With the red. But this is from Ekster. So Ekster and WESN collaborated, created this variant of the knife. And of course, they also did have a wallet for sale as well. I didn't buy the wallet. I just wanted this. And so what do we have here in this little tiny knife? So of course you can see it is a flipper, and this is a titanium frame lock. So we have a red coated titanium frame there. So very nicely done. And the action on such a small blade is actually pretty nice. Like they got the detent pretty well. So you can see the blade just clicks right back into the handle, nice and flush. And when you're flipping it, there is a little bit of jimping right there on the flipper. And as you flip it, the detent is tuned just right so the blade flies out. And so it's actually almost too small for that, because as you're flipping, the knife almost wants to jump out of your hands. So it's kind of a neat design in that regard. We do have a pocket clip as well. So there are some carry options here. And now it's not a deep carry design. And on such a small knife, maybe it shouldn't be. But you can see it's just a standard pocket clip that we have right there. And this is a knife that's going to be size-wise a good fit for your fifth pocket on your jeans, because it's just so damn tiny. It's very small. And luckily we also have a lanyard hole right there. So you could also use this as a keychain hole. So you can just hang this on your keys, because this knife is not very heavy. In fact, let's pull out the scale right here. Check out the weight of the Microblade. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we are coming in, you can see right on the money, 1.3 ounces. And in fact, let's check out the dimensions of the Microblade as well, because again, it's a new model to me at least, because our cutting edge of the blade right there, you can see it's right at 1.5 inches long. So 1.5 inches long blade. The overall length is like 3 7/8, so just a little shy of 4 inches long, 1.3 ounces. So this is really kind of the definition of like a keychain carry knife. So obviously it has a pocket clip, you can stick it in your pocket, but I think a keychain, it would fit in just as well on as well. And with the detent, it's not going to flop out if you're carrying this around on your keys. I would feel it's pretty secure in that regard. So there's the flipper, there's a thumb stud, which you can also kind of use. I would say the flipper is the preferred opening method, but it's nice to have the options there for you. And here's the thing. Again, this is a limited run. This variant is gone, I'm sure, at this point. To see that this is a D2 steel blade. So we have this really nice limited edition, but a very budget steel. And I saw a rep on their social media just stating that the D2 steel is used to keep the price low, because even though this is a small knife, it's a inexpensive steel, it still costs more than $100, right? So it's really the definition of like a boutique item. Not everyone's going to drop over $100 on a knife this small and this niche, right? But of course I did. You're welcome. But that being said, it's a solid product. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Straight out of the package, it was, nice and sharp. So no issues there at all. But here's the issue too. Now, this is a collectible by all means, by anyone's definition, this is a collectible, because of course this red paint is beautiful as the knife is brand new right now. But if you actually carry this, you put it in your pocket, you use it, you put it on your keychain, you carry it, that red paint is going to get dinged up on day one. And it's gonna start looking pretty ratty. And now if you're all into EDC and using your gear, great, that's awesome. It's going to look super battle worn in no time at all. And hey, if you're proud of that, go for it. But that being said, if you are on the opposite end and you're a collector and you want it to look pristine forever, then yeah, it's not really the most practical knife to actually carry, to actually use. So that's kind of my thoughts on this one here. I definitely bought it because it's a looker. But am I going to carry this knife really ever? Probably not. And in fact, I'm already looking at cheaper variants of the Microblade because I actually like the design. The size is actually pretty cool. The lightweight is really awesome. So I'm thinking of buying just another cheaper one for actual carry purposes, while I just leave this one for display, just because that damn coloration, that red is just awesome. How many times do you see a completely redded out knife? It just doesn't happen. So again, I'm a sucker of marketing as much as the next guy, so they definitely got me with that. And again, the packaging is incredible. So if you were a fan of that Ekster brand and someone gave this to you, you would be jumping for joy because it's just so cool. It's so awesome. And but that being said, let's go back again. The size of the knife. This is small, so let's make some size comparisons. So first off, just to give you an idea, right? So right here, here is a standard U.S. nickel. You can see right there. 1964 proof, by the way. But either way, a U.S. nickel right next to the Microblade. You can see this is a small knife. And when you think of small knives, at least in my brain, when I think of small knives, I often think of the California legal automatic knives, right? Because they have a less than 2-inch blade. So like a knife like this is the Kershaw Launch 4. It is a small knife, but let's put it next to the Microblade, and it's bigger than the Microblade. So check the side by side there. 1.5-inch blade, 1.9-inch blade right there. And the handle size is obviously apparent, as you can see. But let's talk about keychain carry, right? So the knife I have in my pocket literally 7 days a week is going to be a Spyderco Ladybug, Man Bug, knives like that. So here's a Ladybug right here. Perfect keychain knife. Let's just set it down right next to the Microblade. And you can see, again, very comparable, but the Microblade is even smaller than the Spyderco Ladybug. Can you believe that? That's pretty cool. Now, it does weigh more, I will say, because the Ladybug is all plastic construction primarily versus titanium. So naturally, it weighs more. It's about twice as much in weight, but it is a small knife. So just keep that in mind if you buy this and intend to carry it and use it, what kind of cutting power you're getting here. Great as a package opener, pop in zip ties, things that are small cutting tasks, which is, again, what I would say the majority of people use on a daily basis. Cutting something with this is going to beat your fingernails any day, right? So I think it's just kind of such a cool little, again, it's a niche item. Not everyone needs this knife, but if you're into knives, if you're into everyday carry, if you're into the companies that WESN has collaborated with, I think this is something that's going to interest you. So I'm kind of going back to their site now. I'm going to look for other variants of the Microblade, see if there's anything else out there that kind of catches my eye. Because this one, gosh, is just too darn gorgeous to to mess up. So, you know, call me out on that if you want, because if you're one of those guys that says use your shit type of a person, hey, guilty as charged. This is too damn pretty to ever use. So if you have any comments, drop those below. Tell me what you think of this WESN Microblade and this red color. Isn't this awesome? Isn't this really cool? But again, you don't have to agree with me. That's why you got to drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this collaboration. But again, hope you all have a nice day out there, and I will see you